Cheers, everyone. What's that? Smells like an all-English final. Yes, boys, it's your boy JT, and welcome back to another video. Of course, there is no other thing to talk about right now than the Champions League semi-finals that have just gone down. I have just come back fresh off of watching that Chelsea 2-0 demolishing of Real Madrid to set up a Champions League final full of both English clubs for the second time in 3 years. The blue half of Manchester versus the blue half of London. It is going to be tasty, baby. As always, if you do end up enjoying the video, then a like would always be appreciated. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into the meat of the action. So I'm of course going to start off with the Chelsea versus Real Madrid game because that is the game I just watched. It is the game most fresh in my mind. And what an absolute heap of shambles by Real Madrid. I've never seen them play so poor in my lifetime. You just always think they're going to turn it on in the Champions League because it is Los Blancos. They did dispatch of Liverpool cool, calm and collectively, but not today. Today they were bang average from start to finish. Going forward, they weren't really offering much. They were just hoofing balls long, or they were playing it side to side. They could not get past Chelsea's back line. They had a couple of speculative efforts. One from Karim Benzema on the half turn, rips a shot off near post, and one of them he gets in for an open header. Very poor defensively from Chelsea there. But aside from that, they were solid as a rock back there. They were resolute. They were not getting pulled out of shape at all. They were very, very dedicated today, Chelsea back there. I mean, not only offensively were Real Madrid in absolute shambles today. I mean, they looked about as creative as old Steve playing in the Watford Friendly League, for Pete's sake. But no, defensively as well, very, very poor. Like a digestive in tea, just crumbling under the slightest bit of pressure there. Chelsea were pressing them more than an erection on skinny jeans. They were all over them like a rash they could not get rid of. Forget the Sudocrem, forget any kind of soothing creams. It was not working. Chelsea in that first half alone had about 5 or 6 gilt-edged chances. And I thought Real Madrid were going to come into it because Chelsea had missed that many chances. But no, of course, that's not the way the game went. The game did not go that way. The second half, again, Chelsea wasted so many chances. They had another about 5 clear-cut chances and they missed them all. But Real Madrid, again, defensively, they were open as anything. They were open as a 40-year-old hooker's legs. And offensively, again, a very limp dick performance. You know, I want to get this right. Let's just do a little bit of research on the old statistics of the game. So Chelsea with about 15 shots that game. Wow, I mean, it felt like about 25 shots, I'll tell you that much. What it doesn't say is the quality of those shots, the positions those shots were in, and the amount of times, in fact, the shot wasn't released because they get into that position, dilly-dally about, and then pass it to someone. But speaking of the shots they did convert, Timo Werner converted 2 on the night. The first one was given offside. I felt so bad for the guy because the guy is so overhated by every single either opposition fan. Chelsea fans don't like him. Nobody in England seems to like this guy. And he scored in a Champions League semi-final. It was so sad to see it being ripped away from him. But he turned it around and ended up getting himself another goal. And the thing is, it wasn't even just his goal scoring that he'd improved today. It's not even just his finishing. But generally, his all-round play, he looked sharp. He was in the game. He was running the channels. And he really performed well. He was eventually, of course, taken off in the 70th minute for Christian Pulisic. And Christian Pulisic ended up getting the assist for the decisive goal. And who scored it other than the Chelsea fan himself? The guy who has played at Chelsea since he was about 9 years old, along with Callum Hudson-Odoi and his mate Tammy Abraham. It is, of course, Mason Mount scoring for his childhood club in the Champions League semi-final. I don't think you're quite getting your head around the magnitude of this goal, the magnitude of the situation, the magnitude of what's going on inside this guy's head. He's my age and he's scoring decisive goals in the Champions League semi-final, and I'm sat here scratching my ass watching him. What is going on with my life? But enough about my life. We're talking about Mason Mount, and we're talking about his English counterpart, Felipe Fodenino, a guy who I think excels Mount. I think he's just that cut above. That's how good he is. I think Mount is fantastic, but I just think Foden is a cut above. And he is also going to be playing and featuring for his childhood beloved club, another blue club in an area usually dominated by a red team, and it is of course Manchester City's Phil Foden. He was very instrumental in the Champions League, of course. Hit the post last game, would have been an absolute firecracker of a goal if he did get it. Scored 2 goals in the quarter-final against Borussia Dortmund, so he's played a vital role in getting Manchester City to this final. And let's touch on that game now. Of course, it wasn't Phil Foden who scored on the night. He was unfortunate not to get a goal. Like I said, he did play very well, but it was, of course, Riyad Mahrez, a guy who I said possibly should have been dropped for Sterling in this game, but no, he proved me wrong, scoring 2 somewhat easy but sumptuous nonetheless. The first goal, the shot is ricocheted and Riyad Mahrez gets it and slots it under the keeper's legs. Beautiful finish, crisp, calm, smooth, collected, everything you want from a finish from that position of the pitch. Before that, there was a bit of a scare for Man City. Of course, PSG had that penalty, ridiculous decision. It flicked off Zinchenko's shoulder. He was absolutely livid. He was seething, man. You could see the saliva coming out of his mouth. He was so angry at the decision that had been given against him. However, of course, VAR did actually do its job for once and the decision was overturned. I know. Who would have believed it? VAR actually doing its job. Not this guy, I'll tell you that much. And not Zinchenko either, because he was not confident that decision was getting overturned. He was furious. But like I said, aside from that penalty, Manchester City, again, it was one-way traffic. They were all over them. They, of course, got that goal of Riyad Mahrez in the first half. And then the second half, same old, same old. You thought PSG would wake up. You thought they'd get a firecracker up their arse from Pochettino at half-time to really kick them into shape. But no, again, they look poor. They look second best to everything. And extremely, extremely, extremely petulant. You've got to feel sorry for Pochettino. He's been absolutely sold down the river by his players there. They just all lost their heads. You had Neymar diving around everywhere and then going and kicking everyone, crying, screaming to the referee. You had Verratti losing his head, almost getting sent off. Should have been sent off, to be honest. You had Di Maria kicking out at Fernandinho for no reason. It was really, really poor. Really poor from Paris. Again, 2 teams you'd expect better from, PSG and Real Madrid. Very, very poor on their respective nights. And it sets up an absolutely mouth-watering tie. The tie, I said, was possibly going to be the final. I thought Chelsea would beat Real Madrid. I think I did predict, however, that Liverpool would have been in that semi-final. And if Liverpool were there, I think they would have actually beaten Chelsea. But nonetheless, it's a Chelsea-Man City final. I said from the start, the winner is either going to be Manchester City or PSG. I said they'd face in the semi-final. I said I fancied City to go through and finish the deal on Aguero's last year. How brilliant would that be? The storyline writes itself. Aguero 5 years ago, he says, I'm not going to leave PSG. I'm not going to leave Man City until we win the Champions League. It's already been confirmed that he's leaving. And can this year be the year that they do it? I certainly hope so, for his sake, for Pep's sake, for Raheem Sterling's sake, for Felipe Foden's sake, and for my sake, because I'd probably rather see City than Chelsea win it as a Leeds fan. But that's my personal decision. What do you guys think of it? What did you guys think of the semi-finals? Were you disappointed in Real Madrid? Were you disappointed in PSG? Or did you expect that to happen? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below. And let's have a little poll going. Who do you think's better? Mason Mount or Phil Foden? Put it up here in the eye. There's going to be a little card dropping down now to register your votes. Phil Foden or Mason Mount? Really good performances from those two. And who do you think's going to do it? Do you think it will be Tuchel's first Champions League? Or will Man City finally get their hands on that trophy that's eluded them for so long? They've spent so much money, thrown so much cashola at the situation. Can they finally get their hands on it? It would be biblical. It would be biblical if they did it. But nonetheless, guys, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Love to get your words in the comment section down below. Come on, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear what the drillers, what the foxes have to say about this. Because look, I know as much as I know. you know as much as you know. If we build a community of forward-thinking young pioneers of the game, then we can only get more intelligent. The collective brain power of multiple geniuses is always stronger than the brain power of one. You can never stop learning. There's never enough room for improvement or just debate or conversation. So I love to hear what you guys have to say down below. Honestly, you watching the video, it means more to me than you'll ever know. And I appreciate you all so much. So let me know what you guys think will happen. Let me know what you thought of the games. And let me know what you think about the upcoming Europa League game tomorrow night. I will, of course, be doing a stream for that. So stay tuned for that. But I thank you ever so much for watching, guys. If you're a fan of Leeds, you're a fan of football, you're a fan of fighting, you're a fan of Chelsea, you're a fan of PSG, anybody, check out my channel. I do make a lot of other football content, a lot of other fight content as well. Of course, I do want to be covering that Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders fight that is going to be happening on the weekend. And hey, if you check it out and you enjoy it and you feel like you want to become part of the conversation, then hey, make sure you subscribe and tick that notification bell so you don't miss a future upload. But if not, and it's not really for you, then that's fair enough. A comment letting me know where I could improve would always be appreciated. Or alternatively, if you want to call me a twat and let me know what a knobhead I am, that is equally as appreciated and equally as valid. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you there. Au revoir.